Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I do hope and pray this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, thriving, and well. And I would really, really appreciate you leaning into this message with all of your heart. You know, as we begin the process, the slow, mindful, respectful process of coming back out slowly but surely post-pandemic, I believe a lot of us are considering, what is mine to do now? How do I greet other human beings? You know, there's been so many different metaphors used about this pandemic, used about the different experiences of the pandemic, the mask, and how many of us have been hiding behind the mask, many of us wanting to get the mask down so we can see each other again, and all the different things in between, some of which are like, oh my goodness, and some of them are like, oh yes, goodness. So with that said, I want to take you through a very brief story about something that absolutely rocked my life years and years ago, my very first trip to Nepal when I was on a climbing expedition back in the 80s. I was a kid in my early 20s. And, you know, with that experience, I remember so vividly. I was carrying a backpack. I had my tent, my sleeping bag, my stuff. And I was really, really hurting. My gosh, that was high, right? You know, get up 12, 13, 15, 17,000 feet above sea level, and the weight. And I had my really good hiking shoes. I had a good Gore-Tex outfit on, so I was really well outfitted. And then I would see different Nepalese Sherpas. I would see porters. I would see families, children, moms, dads. And in particular, I would see people who were carrying literally hundreds of pounds on their back. Some of them were doing it with flip-flops on, through mud, through ice, through snow. Some of them doing it barefoot. And here's what I was struck by. Here I was in my head going, man, I'm tired, and wow, this is really, really hard. And then I would look up and I would see a beautiful face in front of me. Someone who may be in their 50s, 60s, or 70s carrying a ton of weight on their back. And they would literally see you. They would stop. They would take down their pack with all that weight, and they would look at you and they would say, Namaste. They would look you in the eye. And they would say Namaste. And then they would grab their pack, put it back on, and continue on their way. And this is long before Namaste became kind of a spiritual thing where many of us now know the meaning. Very similar experiences around the light in me, the divine in me, the God in me, the universe in me sees that in you. But I'll never forget when I was in a monastery, and I really was quizzing myself about this whole idea of Namaste. As a kid who grew up in Vermont, not necessarily having a lot of experience, actually, let's be really honest, having no experience with the whole idea of Eastern religion, spirituality, Buddhism, the things that I'm now just absolutely heart over heels about. And I remember hearing this definition. I wrote it down years ago and I put it in my journal. I want to read it to you. This is one of the most beautiful definitions of Namaste I have ever heard. When I asked a monk, I asked a lama, different people in my circle, I said, you know, can you tell me more about the experience of Namaste and what does it really mean? And one shared this with me. My soul recognizes your soul. I honor the love, light, beauty, truth, and kindness within you, because it is also within me. In sharing these experiences, there is no distance and no difference between us. We are one. We are the same. We are one. As I think, and more importantly, feel what that brings up for me these days, I'm doing my very best as I go out more and more in the world, and yes, with my mask on, I can still look at other human beings, all human beings. And under my breath, or right out loud, I will say Namaste. And not in that quick sort of fractile way, that kind of spiritual drive-by. It's more the spiritual presence of absolutely my soul recognizing your soul. I honor the love, light, beauty, truth, and kindness within you, because it is also within me. In sharing these experiences, there is no distance, no difference between us. We are one, we are the same, we are one. What a beautiful way to come back out, slowly, with presence, courageously with spirit, seeing all as one. I am a big believer that social activism is nearly and merely, at times, just being in that space of grace to see another human being as you would see yourself. So as you greet yourself first thing in the morning and you say to yourself, I love you, I see you, think about how that quality can pierce whatever shield, whatever veil may be in front of every human being that you have the blessing of coming across today. And holding that energy, holding that experience of true namaste. I want you to know that I see and love all that is in you and do my very best to see that in me as well. And together, we are one. We are the same. We are one. Much love, all blessings. Have a beautiful day being you and live with your heart out loud. Thank you. Bye for now.